Yo, to my Z Walker family, Walkers. Yep, today's show, we're talking about everything about the youths, how different it is today, how it was back in the day, how free it was back in the day, to how much pressure it is for the youths today. Yeah, so we got my few guests here, Zero Base Walker.
Yo, what's going on, people?
S. Boogie.
Come on.
Yeah, we're just going to wrap it up, just keep it flowing. So, what do we think is different about the youth today than man them?
Boy, shall I go first?
Yeah, up, bro.
Boy, they don't make kids like how they used to. Like today, personally, with all the technology, everything that's going on, like, it's not how it was back in the day. I lie.
Hey, guys, because see me, I was happy playing my Atari. Now, when the little Atari, you have the little keyboards and you had the one joystick thing. You know what I mean? That to us there, that seemed like the best thing ever.
It's the future.
That, yeah, we thought, whoa, what have they brought out here, man? You know what I mean? Man's got a joystick now with the man's keyboard. You know what I mean? Atari. And for the man that know about Atari, cuz you're in our era, so you'll know and relate to what we're talking about and how things have changed. Like, I was, even down to, what was the next old school gizmo after the Atari? What else were we playing with?
Sega Mega Drive.
You was on a Sega, see?
Yeah, Nintendo.
There's Nintendo, little Game Boys.
I wasn't lucky enough to have a Nintendo.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Certain things were a bit pricey. When but that's what I'm saying though. Imagine back in the days, how much was a Nintendo back in the day? We can remember.
It was like 200 quid, you know.
Yeah, yes. I was like,
Boy, let me tell you something, yeah? I remember buying the collector's anniversary edition of Street Fighter and the Mega Drive, fam. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was £60 back in the day. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that one day, guys.
Toys R
Street
Us.
Fighter 2
Yeah.
Anniversary one, guys. But then that's what I'm saying, and today's now, when we start looking at the price of the consoles and everything we play today, these youths ain't got a clue, cuz. These youths take everything for granted, bro. It's like, they man have headphones now and can talk to man. But imagine we could play the Atari, cuz, one block. That ping, what's that game called?
Tetris.
Tetris, all the games
It's
there.
not even that, it's not even that. Shall I tell you why they're more advanced now, yeah? Because they've got more access to more things. They're influenced by more things. Back in the day, I remember, yeah, if I wanted to listen to a tune, yeah, I used to record the tune on my voicemail, yeah, and go onto one-to-one and listen to that song. Yeah, now, they got iTunes, blood. They're grabbing it out of the sky, fam.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? This generation is forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so everything's been easy for them now. Like you said, it's made them lazier.
Yeah, because even then, I remember I used to listen to So Solid Sundays on Delight FM 103.
Yeah, come on.
I had to hold my finger down on the record button and record my tape, blood.
Cause remember that old school trick? You had to put the tissue. Remember that old? You had to put the tissue into the tape, into the side of the tape, so it can
Yeah.
Cause man, they don't know. See, these you don't know about old school thing, cuz.
Oh, they don't know what a tape is.
A tape player.
Imagine showing your kid a tape. Imagine showing you a tape, though, cuz. Let alone a CD, cause CDs they can kind of grasp a little bit, yeah. But a tape, cuz we've been through. Oh, remember the little mini disc? What they called? The Sony thing.
Hey, fam, that was
The MP3 Sony thing.
See that mini disc? That was advanced.
And that's what I'm saying.
You can't even. It's clearer than CD quality.
Yeah.
So literally, that was advanced for its time. See how compact it was as well.
Then it went MP3.
MP4.
And MP4.
And then remember with the MP4, the little thing. You put your headphone to it quickly and download, plug it into your computer, download the tunes, take it out of your computer, and you're ready to roll, hit the rolls. But use
Not even that, the Walkman thing. My man had the big yellow Sony.
That's going back. I'm telling you, the big Walkman as well, cause Sony Walkmans. Man, these youths ain't got a clue. Because phones now is your music source.
Yeah, everything. It's your camera.
Yeah, it's everything.
It's your mailbox.
It's your TV.
Yeah, it's your TV.
But it's a multiple thing, and that's why these things are pricey. So this is what I'm saying now. So when we was doing our thing on the streets, hanging out, young kids, we found things like playing penny up, or doing little wheelies on our bike, or
like run-outs.
Yeah, or run-outs, knock down ginger, bare little things we played. You know what I mean? We done things together.
Yeah, man, the youths are tapped.
They're
They use a tap these days.
Cause they ain't got a clue nowadays, bro.
It's nothing for them to do. That's the problem.
Yeah, but was there anything for us to do as much though?
No, but shall I tell you
We
something?
made the most of it.
It's lost. We're living in a lost generation, fam. listen, yeah, we're watching Gogglebox, we're watching people watching the TV, fam. Yeah, these youths are doing the exact same thing. They're watching these guys play video games, which I bought them last Christmas.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I say to them like, raw, why don't you play your game? And they say, no, I'd rather watch it. You know what I mean, kid?
Yeah,
and that's what I see my kid doing. My kid's watching YouTube, watching these kids play with their Barbies, and she playing with her Barbies as well. Mimicking them, imitating what they're doing their own thing. Now I'm thinking, what the hell? Is this the new? Is this what these kids are doing now?
It's not even that. It's the fact that the world has got everyone programmed. I'm telling you. Yeah, everyone's programmed. Know what they say? They say that see kids that are under 7 years old, they don't really need to touch them or play with them because they're gonna get programmed by their parents. And then from 7 years old, then they can mold them to whatever they want to do.
Oh yeah, that's real talk. So that's where the AI coming involved and things. So all our kids will be like a robot, and that's what they're training them to do.
I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah. Like, I'll be a hypocrite, fam. My daughter, when she does her homework, she Googles it. If there was a hard sum, she'll just type it in the Google search bar.
Imagine that.
I swear down.
And this is what I mean by laziness.
Yeah,
when we was kids, we couldn't Google nothing. We didn't even have a phone we couldn't go on the net. Our phones didn't even have internet on it. Remember when we had internet on the phone the first time?
How long?
Mate. But remember the internet when we first got internet in your yard, that dial-up tone.
Oh, allow it. Kids ain't even seen a phone.
They don't.
You know, kids ain't seen a phone. Kids ain't seen a phone.
They just don't know about phone.
With a dial.
But listen, kids ain't got a clue about things, and that's why I think there's a lot of crime going on more now than when we was growing up. There was crime going on, obviously. But it was obviously technology wasn't advanced then, so there was less CCTV cameras and shit like that. Right? We all knew crime was going on, but right now, crime has gone skyrocketing.
Yeah, no, especially, but as like you said, it's only being documented now. I mean, before everything's got at a touch of a button, so you're looking at your phone, you're getting these updates of crimes which are being committed in your specific area. Before, you never got that. Yeah. So right then. So because it's documented, you're saying it's still the same back in the day. No. Brother, let me tell you something. Exactly what's going on today was happening back in the day, but it just wasn't being spoken about.
I think it's much more worse now.
Worse now.
And even I think it's worse now.
Don't forget, it's a generational thing. So imagine it's mad. Remember, kids are having kids. Back in the day,
what I'm trying to say
parents.
It's got
You know what I'm trying to say? Like
back in the day, adults weren't having kids till they're probably like 40.
30s or whatever, but now
had a career
16, 17, 18, 15.
Yeah, 15.
Keep having kids.
And I blame the government for that halfway as well. Like you're saying, it's all programmed. The government are programming these kids to think that if you have a baby, we can get you a house.
I was about to say that.
You know what I mean though? That's how most of these kids think though. If we have a baby, we can have a house. And they must think it's like a fun thing. Forgetting that a kid is a big responsibility.
See our era, when we was growing up, and there was the thing where girls can get pregnant and they're gonna get their house.
Yeah,
you know how much girls got pregnant in that era?
But I look about 8%.
What?
I look at 8% of girls got pregnant just because they thought they can get a house, and they did get a house from it. And that's why. Listen, I got nothing against females. But I got nothing against females here. But this is why I think they can say certain things to men, where men will get dashed out their yards. Get out my house. But bear in mind, it ain't their house. It's the government's house. It ain't your house till you bought it. And even then, when you have bought it, it's still part of the government's. But legitimately, you don't own that house. When girls dash a man out the house, and say, it's like the government is their father. The government supports them in many ways. Men do get support, and if men have to go a bit more harder to find support, but I think the women get support just in the click of a button. Like it's just so easy for women to file these problems and these incidents and all this bullshit. When it comes to a male to do it,
I don't think men get that much support compared to women.
Not looking good now. Yes, that's what I'm getting at. In the sense of we can get support, but we have to dig deeper and further and push the extra yard to get that support and that help. Like women, imagine that if a male says that, I've got my kid and so I need a house, the government will start talking about, well, you're gonna have to go in a shared accommodation or whatnot.
No, but
if it's a female, boom, next thing you know.
Shall I tell you something though? Like we're talking about kids and generations and that, yeah. Like back in the day, like when we was growing up here, there wasn't much opportunities for man as what there is for kids today.
I'd say that's true.
Like all I see is apprenticeship, all of these schemes.
We didn't have apprenticeships.
We never had none of these schemes, bro, back in the day.
Yeah. I hear you.
Like now, it's different. I feel a bit pissed because it says from a certain age bracket, from 16 to 24, you're eligible to do bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
And even that, yeah,
I can't even do that.
It goes against you as well.
Yeah,
It goes against you, I promise you. There's certain apprenticeships, they'll do certain categories, like 16 to 19. And then it'll be like...
Yeah, do you know why as well, though? Because
maybe 16 to 23 or
whatever. The
whatever.
main point of that is because an adult and a younger person, they have two different wages. Once you get past a certain age, you get put on a higher wage. So they want to keep you on a lower wage. You know what I mean? But that's all good though if you're young and you want to start up and do something for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
If there was a lot more apprenticeships,
But
availability.
Adam, we say that though. But how are all these? I don't know. Correct me where I'm going wrong on this though. But we see more. We see billionaires when we was growing up. People were making it, entrepreneurs, self-made, all that. Yeah, making it. They're the ones who set the platform for where we can see. Okay, then they can do it. We can do it. So all these technology that we're seeing, it all comes from these old school people that made money to put investments in things. So we had opportunity when we was young, but maybe the doors wasn't open for us as easy as it is for the young G's. Like, right, like you say, right now the young G's can like go on social media, internet, whatnot, and invent themselves and do stuff, put things out on the platform to get things going. So if we went like back in our day, who were we gonna go? We couldn't really go to. There's no platform to show it on. Yeah. So it is easier now, and they are creating more young millionaires. So in that sense, that's why I'm talking about it's more lazy now. Everything's more easy. So the struggle back in the day. So imagine can you compare a millionaire from back in the day in our generation to one now in the struggle, like the build up.
Let me tell you something, yeah. I work every day of my life, fam. Yeah, and I see what these influencers are doing on Instagram, fam. And I can't do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a once in a lifetime thing. You know what I'm saying? These kids, yeah, are looking at these images. They're looking at these Instagrammers, these influencers, yeah, and they're thinking, yeah, I want to be like that. But they don't realise, yeah, about hard work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they need to be taught about hard work, because hard work gets you there. And even when you work hard, you ain't got it.
You got it. So put it this way, yeah. So we know a few people that are Instagram influencers and that, yeah. So would you say to them, even though they got thousands of followers, yeah, they ain't put in hard work? Because I believe sometimes, like you said, it's a different generation, a different time that we're living in. So that what they're doing is the time that they're in. So that's pushing hard work to them. That's hard work for them. For them to get them certain amount of reach of followers and whatnot, what they built on themselves, all the energy they put into, that's hard work, no? In this generation that we're living in.
No. What I'm trying to say.
You see, you guys doing Call of Duty and getting big. What I'm trying to say
is, yeah, like all the glamorizing, like all of the lifestyle, all the holidays and all of that, yeah. Like, these people shouldn't be promoting that. They should be promoting hard work. You know what I'm saying? Because managers looking at this thing, just trying to chase it. You know what I'm saying?
No, but they're showing the pictures.
Especially even with this rapping thing. You know what
I'm
saying?
So, you know why they're showing the pictures? They're showing the pictures of the glamorous world because that's what hard work does. Do you understand what I mean?
I can understand.
Like, you see me in my Lambo, I need to show you my hard work. I'm in a Lambo, I'm doing hard work. Like, if you want to know what I'm doing, that's a different thing.
Still,
I
fully agree with you on that sense as well.
So this is what I was getting to then. So this is where we show the side of hard work and laziness, where it comes to where these young G's think they can make money quickly by all this music.
There's no quick way.
But the music, the drill music and that they all think it's the quick way to get out. And that's why I think crime right now is more rife.
It's a mirage.
Than it was back in the day. Back in the day, we didn't care about no drill and that. We cared about going out, spray painting.
It's not that though, yeah.
Skating and bike riding.
How many rich actual UK artists are there? Actual rich ones.
Rich ones.
Yeah.
I couldn't. How many rich ones do you think?
But you see the 1%, and then how many? And then the other 99% is chasing that. You get me? And you're not going to be that 1%. You get me?
So who's the 1%?
That's the reason why it is the 1%.
The only rich ones in the UK thing I can think of right now, and I can say that's rich and made it. Yeah, I would say someone like Tiny Temper.
Brother, there's a lot of man.
He had his time.
But he made it. He's gone. But he doesn't.
There's a lot of man who made a lot of money, and you're only just seeing. You're not seeing the people in the background like the producers who own 50% of each one of those tunes.
100%.
Like that man there, he's making more peas than anyone.
Yeah, also we know that the background and the managers that make the money from it, because that's why they're pushing the person.
But I'm talking about
the artist itself. Yeah, the artist itself.
The percentages is low.
Yeah.
But they got a ton of people following that movement. You know, like the movement is the 99%.
So would you recommend the young G's to get into music?
Well, what I'm trying to say is,
I would, but you gotta always not even have music as. I wouldn't have music as. Like, obviously, you can have music as your one goal because it does work for some people. But think about the people that have had that story and haven't made it. Like there's millions of more people that haven't made it than the ones that have made it. So just like football, so imagine like elite sport.
Yeah, but then sometimes that's how you get other people to follow that energy. So for instance, now if Chip, he started that from way back, yeah.
That's hard work, though.
That's hard. I mean, that's hard work. Platform. Yeah, consistency, platform. Yeah, hard work. Now, would you expect Chip to go tell a young G that's starting like how he's trying to start to not continue to do what you're doing?
Yeah, obviously, bruv. Listen, yeah.
Because I mean, does that mean that's Chip's energy? That's what I'm trying to get. Is that Chip's drive? That's his goal. That's his future. You can't push it on like major. You know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I don't know. Obviously, I don't know Chip or whatever. But me, if I was in that position, I'll tell man, bro. You know what? It's not easy. Like the chances of you making it is slim, bro. Make sure you have like investments into other stuff and shit. Like invest into your music because that's your life. That can be your lifestyle, but I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying about the youth. The youth need to understand, yeah, that like everything comes with hard work, yeah, and like man needs to start looking at like, yeah, what job do you want? A doctor? Get me?
So would you put then?
You don't have to.
Can I pause you there?
Rapper fan. I know. You know what I mean?
So can I pause you there then? So your children now, yeah. I know they're more into technology. They're thinking about being a doctor or a nurse and a lawyer and all that now, yeah. So what would you advise them now at this stage to because you know technology is the future.
No, the question is really.
We know technology is the future.
What would you ask yourself, like we were saying earlier? What would you ask yourself, like? What would you say to yourself now, like back then? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously everyone makes mistakes, but you don't want your kids to make them same mistakes. Do you know what I mean? So same thing you're telling yourself, it's probably the same thing you're telling your kids as well. Do you know what I mean?
So would you advise your kids to? So if your kid loves to, so your kids are influencers, Instagram influencers. Would you and they're good at it now? You can see them accelerating. Would you tell them to stop what they're doing and concentrate more to be something more productive in the world that we're living in, like a doctor, a lawyer?
Do you know what? Yeah, what I would say is that because the world is so new now, like the whole social media, everything is still brand new, kind of like everything is still like changing. So that could be a craft. That could be a craft, but obviously there's a chance where it can go sideways because the more bigger you become, the more people are watching you. If you make one slip, just like a footballer, you break your leg, mate. Sometimes there's no coming back.
Yeah, that's real talk. So that's what I'm saying. And so, when we was growing up now, from our days, we never had all this stuff in front of us. So we was taught that you either had to be an entertainer, or you had to be someone like a doctor or a lawyer. And you know, in certain areas and poverty and whatnot, people that were less fortunate couldn't accelerate to those levels because university, and we know how people get in debt from university as well that don't make it as well. So sometimes our life was a harder struggle, which I believe that there could be crime could be higher because the struggle was harder. But you would have thought this day, because everything was more easier, there'd be less crime. But there seems to be more crime where things are a bit more easier, and there's more like CCTV cameras.
More kids have had kids.
So they're not teaching. So they're not adult shit. They discovered themselves yet.
Shall I tell you what it is? Yeah, we all just need to all reevaluate our whole structure of how we teach our children and how we bring them up here, because like in schools you get taught about tax, buying houses, mortgages, financial.
That's what private school.
Yeah, this is what private school does, but they should be doing this is like your first lesson of the day.
Public
schools. You need to be doing like home skills. You know what I mean? Like man needs that. You get me?
No, but it's how it's worked out though. They got the public schools to fill up the public jobs. Do you know what I mean? And then you got the private schools filling up the private industry. Whoa. You know what I mean? Where you can make your own business, or you can come work for my private company and I'll pay you the fat check. Do you know what I mean? Because I think that certain unis, like say for instance, another uni won't have certain degrees. You won't even have that degree. No, like won't even have economics in the whole uni. You can't even do that. You can't even do that degree. that costs money.
Trust me.
So that's what I mean. So everything comes down to poverty, because a young G in the hood, he may have prospects and a goal and drive to go do what was saying, but hasn't got that door to open to get through it. So he turns to crime. So is that why there's more crime today and less crime? This is the arguments, and we have to understand. Or is it this balance? Is it it's just a way forward in life, and crime's always going to be there no matter what? Crime's what makes the world go around.
Fam, when it's tense, this is what they do. They put a cap on things, yeah. And then when shit gets tense, crime raises in the areas. You know what I'm saying? There's poverty right now. We're going through a lockdown. There's a lot. You're gonna be seeing on the news a lot of people doing mad shit. You know what I'm saying?
Trust me, when this thing's over, mark my words, I feel like
this shit ain't over.
Imagine this,
shit
yeah. Imagine this, yeah. See, like when people go to jail, yeah, and they don't socialize with people on the outside, like in big crowds, and then when they come out of jail, they feel like it takes time to get used to what's going on. That's what the whole kind of country's going through right now. Not really socializing too much. So see that when something big does happen. So it's gonna be like.
So,
you know what I mean?
So when this lockdown when we come out of lockdown and they start releasing out all these carnivals and these parties, do you think there's gonna be more trouble?
I think so.
See,
because people just in general haven't been socializing anyway.
So that made me believe then, like I've been saying, technology has got everyone's head boggled. Because back in the day, I'd say what, if we had lockdown back in the day, we'll find plenty of things to do to entertain ourselves with. Because we ain't got half the technology around us. We won't be as lost and dependent on these things. Parties will become a thing of where, you know what I mean, you're used to these type of things. You can get on with it. Now, because we have so much technology, we can talk to each other through the phones now, see each other. We can see people phone up old school parties. You know that everyone's doing throwbacks now. You're thinking, oh, I can't wait to party now. You know what I mean? It's all it's all imaging getting put into your head again. So you're thinking now, but when this lockdown done, I'm going out there. And people can go out there losing their damn mind, bro. I tell you that.
You'll be losing driving licenses.
God, all sorts, bro.
All sorts.
All sorts. I reckon the crime rate's gonna go so high. It's gonna soar. And this is why.
Shall I tell you why as well? Yeah, there's not a lot of respect, fam. There's not a lot of respect out there, fam.
The young G's don't respect the OGs no more.
No, not even the OGs. They don't respect no one, blood. Like, man, they just getting chefed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, man just needs to cut that all out. You know what I mean?
And that's what I mean. So that's what I said about crime back in the day.
Start having respect for people which would look like you in the same struggles. I don't know what it is when it's defensive. You know what I'm saying? When you walk past another brother, you can tell he's just like you.
And that's what it was back in the day,
it
though.
feels tense, though. You know what I'm
If
saying?
you didn't like a man back in the day, you'll punch a man in the face.
Yeah, but man needs to be telling these youths now.
They're stabbing man now.
They're just like, man. You get me? Smile at man. Say hello. You get me?
Like I said, ego. It's a thing like, remember, it's a boy thing. It's a boy thing. He can't, so if man's looking at you at some sort of way, man may even be looking at you thinking, but I think I know this young G, you know. Well, I think I know this you. And then you go, what are you looking at, brother? But don't look at me.
I think we're getting closer and closer to very similar ways of like American ways. We're getting very close.
We're mimicking them.
The news don't really show it too much, but there's broad day shootings all the time in certain areas.
Yeah,
things are going down.
These things are always happening.
Them,
wait, brother, these things have always been happening, yeah? And think about, these are the only things what we hear. Do you know how much other things is going on, fam, what we don't hear about, bruv? Like, it's been happening, yeah? And it's just now you're hearing it because you've got a phone, you've got the access to the news. You'd only hear the news if you listen to the radio or the TV back in the day. Get me? Now, instant access. And it's a mind control thing as well, you know, blood.
And that's what I was saying, yeah.
Like, see these updates, every time you get an update, like with the Scamarona thing and everything else, yeah, it's like you don't hear it for a while, and then it comes back and it just starts harassing you. You get me? And it's like, let me turn off my notifications, bro, because
yeah, it's true, and that's what I'm saying. So, like you said, it's mind control, because back in the day, we didn't have all this technology to keep us in control like that. Like, we was wild. We would run out on the streets. So imagine, like I was saying, imagine we were 13, 14, to go find out where your bedrooms are, you had to go knock on a man's door. Now you can just phone a man and see what's going on. This how. So imagine imagine that now, yeah. Back in the day, if we had to go we had trouble with someone now, yeah. We had to go link up. We had to knock on about four or five doors for us to get a crowd going. Now, man, just one call, yeah, man, then yeah, bang, there. So that's what I mean by how everything's so fast and so moving. Do you know what I mean? Cause so crime must be more involved now than it was back in the day.
You gotta remember as well. See, back in the day, there was like a lot of robberies, heists, and all these things because there wasn't no alarms or no cameras or none of them type of things. You get me?
But
now it's a different type of crime. You got bare fraudulent, like people doing scams and cards and all them accounts. There's different types of crime now. It's like digital crime as well. You know what I'm saying?
It's part of the future, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's not big, but them man doing the big heists now, yeah, they're all just natural big robbers. I'm talking about everyone now thinks they're a robber. Everyone thinks they're a gang. Everyone thinks they're a robber. Know what I mean? Everyone's plotting and planning, scheming.
This is what man's talking about. Man needs to be showing his youths, fam. This ain't a life to live.
And that's the whole point. The life we lived back in the day, it was easier. We had a bit more of a future. No, back in the day, let's be honest, man, them, yeah? And no lie, back in the day when we was kids, yeah, man either wanted to be a fireman, yeah, or something like that, cuz, yeah, or doctor or something, cuz, yeah, or lawyer.
You want to be a policeman?
But some of them would be a policeman, yes. Certain men would be a policeman. I wasn't one for a policeman, but I'm like a doctor or lawyer or someone or fireman. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I thought was
now kids don't think like that.
See, back in the day, yeah, when you was a kid, yeah, did you ever go like have the police come around to the school and they do like dabs of your fingerprints?
Yeah, the dabbing you up, innit? Yeah, that's a mad thing still. Yeah, man. So we know that it's mad back in the day and it's mad now, but this is what I was trying to get at. So when we used to start trouble back in the day, yeah, or there was trouble back in the day, it'd be a fisticuff. Maybe like, hey, can we go fight, or you know what I mean? A little rush or something. Now niggas are either blading man, rush blading man, multiple stabbings, and just jerking man for no reason. And this is imagine you're a 14-year-old youth is going out there doing this, bro. But how are we gonna teach the future though? This is the problem though. The future, they're not like I said, they're not waking up and playing and talking about they want to be a fireman or a doctor or a lawyer or a policeman.
Shall I tell you something? Yeah?
It's mad right now.
Listen, it's something which isn't cool, innit?
Man, no,
that's the image. That's the image it's given out.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like that quite image. So being a drill, there would be a rapper, a driller, a thief, a what murderer. Was that cool? Does that make it anything cool? That leaves the youth with no future.
It's not worth the stress.
And then the sad thing about it, we always talk about how and this ain't even down to a race thing, yeah, but it can be led to a race thing. But it's always crimes always led to the black youth. Gangs. Every time someone thinks of a gang, what kind of they all make distinct of? And then we can't blame half of the people because when you see the news and we hear about most of the crime, maybe because that's what the propaganda wants us to hear, but that's what's fed to us. We hear a lot of the black youth out there committing crime, selling drugs and whatnot. But it's mad. So this is what I'm saying about the future, guys, for our young G's.
Especially with the black youths and that, yeah? Because the Jakes are on trying to lock up the black people, bro. And like, you gotta remember, their dad's probably been jail. You know what I'm saying? They're the man of the house now. You know what I mean? So they're out here doing mad shit because they're the man of the house.
So they're using crime as a way to feed their family.
It's one big cycle. You know what I'm saying?
That is real.
This is where man needs to stop that. Nip it in the bud. You know what I'm saying?
But how do we stop that if we're still promoting half of the stuff that's encouraging these youths to do it?
The world's your oyster now, bro.
But these youths don't see that though.
Huh? Yeah, I know.
Because half of these are dying. What age are these youths dying at, bro? It's sad to see them 13-year-olds and the youth on the TV dying.
Obviously, everyone going to school thing's not good for anyone. You know what I mean? But when you go into school, they need to be implementing these programs and have man going to the school, sitting down, talking to people. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's too late.
You think it's too late for all that now? I don't think school's a good program place to sit and teach the youth anyway. Because they're indoctrinating bullshit anyway.
I'm saying the whole education.
That's why
I'm saying the whole educational system needs to be restructured again.
Yeah, it has to be restructured. But everything starts from home.
You know what I mean?
Starts from home, and what the government basically done was let's destroy the home.
Yeah. Yeah, cave. Start from the home within.
Let's start from the home.
So it starts from the parents. Parents, we need to start teaching these kids a bit more. These kids can't be. These kids are lost because we're lost. Yeah. So this is why. Yeah, it's
another cycle.
It's another cycle. So yeah, again, this is why Z Walkers were here to wake the nation. So people, please tune in to Z Walkers Ltd.